Okay, so it's I have to say, right? It's a real blessing to have a lot of PR agencies hit you up with stuff, right? And there's times when, there might be something which you're like, I don't know if I've got time, right? Or something else. And they're like, I think you should watch it. I think you should watch it. Which is the case with this one, right? Eternal Spring. Um, it's like the thing with it, right? Because I was really down to watch it when I first got sent the press info, but it's subtitled, which is it's a problem. It's difficult to read subtitles, you know. Uh, and then listen, if my site wasn't bullshit, I'd be all on it. But man, it can make you just feel shitty afterwards because it's such a strain. But I put it on because it's interesting. Like sometimes they're a lot slower, right? If people are talking mad fast, it's a wrap. It's not happening. But sometimes people speak a little slower, or it's the subtitles are big, which is always a blessing, right? And yeah, so I thought, all right, let me play and have a look. And I took a look, and they were a good size, right? They were bold, thick lettering. So I was like, all right, I will give this. It will probably take me a lot longer, but I will give it a watch. And I am really frigging glad that I did because, man, this is, whew, this is like a powerful friggin', it really is just a powerful thing. This story is, it, it messes you up. The story messes you up. I ain't gonna lie. And that's not hyperboil, people, right? It's yeah, it's really just this powerful thing, you know? It's like historical. It's something that actually happened, right? And I think that's really interesting when we find out about these like historical moments which aren't covered necessarily. And when you're dealing with you know a dictatorship, there's definitely shit that's not getting covered. So Eternal Spring is directed by Jason Loftus. He also produces it along with Kevin Coy, uh, Yavan Pinard. It's executive produced by Masha Loftus and consulting production from Sean Farnell. Music is from Thomas William Hill. Cinematography is John M. Tran. It's edited by David Schmidt. Sound is Scott Hitchon, Brett Killeran, and Chris Russell. The animation is Carl Beechamin, Alex Smith, and David S. Arnott. Uh, and the colorist is Arlene Molka, which, man, like this, it really looks incredible. And like the storyboards were from Daxiong, right? Who many people, right, may know because he is, an acclaimed comic book artist. He's worked on like Justice League of America for DC. He's worked on Star Wars when Dark Horse had the license and a whole heap of other stuff, right? So I think that is another fascinating element of this story. Like it's Daxon's involvement in it. right? It's not just him contributing his art, he is straight up connected to this, right? So, um, yeah, the gist is this: in March 2002, a TV signal in China gets hacked by members of the band spiritual group Falun Gong. Their goal is to counter the government narrative about their practice. In the aftermath, police raids sweep Changchong City, and comic book illustrator Daxiong, a Falun Gong practitioner, is forced to flee. He arrives in North America, blaming the hijacking for worsening an already violent repression. But his views are challenged when he meets the lone surviving participant to have escaped China, now living in Seoul, South Korea. Combining present day footage with 3D animation inspired by Daxon's art, Eternal Spring retraces the event on its 20th anniversary and brings to life an unprecedented story of defense told through harrowing eyewitness accounts of persecution and incredible artistry. Eternal Spring is an exhilarating tale of determination to speak up for political and religious freedoms, no matter the cost. Right? So it's its 20th anniversary. How many of you have heard of this? You know, how many of you heard of this? Because I will hold my hands up and say, have no clue. No clue. Which isn't a like it's not that much of a shock. You know what I mean? Because I think like when Tiananmen Square happened, that was oi. I remember that. That was so fucking off key. So off key. Just seeing that footage and just like the violence that happened to these people who were violent, who were just protesting with no, you know what I mean? They were peaceful, right? It didn't look like they were doing anything crazy, but the tanks rolled in. It was just, and like Tiananmen Square does not exist anymore. Well, I mean, it exists, but it's not called that. They've changed the name. Like, it's not in Chinese history, but like they, eradicate this so people, you know, don't pay it any mind, right? In China itself. So everyone knows the outside world. But that's what happens in a dictatorial state. So you think when something horrific like that happens, that other things probably, you know what I mean, people will keep it on the low, right? Because it's just like you understand what the consequences will be. So learning about this is just it's insane, man. It's fucking crazy, right? It's done in such a masterful way, right? It's done in such a masterful way, like because we have this art, which, like, it kind of reminded me of like recent footage I've seen because I don't play the games, but of like Grand Theft Auto, that kind of art, right? But it looks realistic. Like these people are just captured so well, like so well. And you see Daxon's storyboards and sketches, and it's just brought to life with this animation. It's really good. It's really good. Like it's not like there's certain, there's some animation you see, and it's just like, wait, is that real? Is that video footage or is that anime? It's not that, right? It's um, you know, animated, right? It's this drawn thing, but it just imbues this realness. You know what I mean? It really kind of pulls you into what you're watching, which is tough because some of the shit you watch is just like just the bits in prison, you know, and it's yeah, people like it is tough to watch. You know, it's very fucking tough to watch because you know, like it's not one of those things you watch and be like, I know what happens at the end, but you know, right, what is likely going to happen to a lot of these people. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, they're all going to live happily. You know, not everyone's making it out. You know, there's going to be torture. You know, it's going to be pretty fucking gnarly. And so we have this animation, we have footage from the time, right? So they actually show some of the footage from the video played, right, when they hijack the TV, right? So we have that, and we have like other like pictures of all the people, like big truck and what's my man's name? Liang. Um, so we have like pictures so we know what they actually look like, And then we have like Daxon go to meet people, right? He goes to meet uh you know this guy that's escaped to um Seoul. And it's like, wait, was it Seoul? Yeah, where he goes to meet him. And it's like yeah, so we have him and he meets a few other people as well, right? And when well, when he meets them, right, he's like, "Oh, can I draw this scene you're talking about?" And you see him like draw these things, which is just incredible in that regard. But you just also see the emotion, right? These people having to relive all of these memories, which is when I say relive, right? Because this kind of stuff, this ain't like you're forgetting about it. I am sure that when everyone goes to sleep at night, this shit runs through their mind because how the fuck could it not? Right? Some people have been in jail for so long. And when we see the conditions which they would have been in, right? These beds, these rough beds, there's no mattress, a hole in the middle for them to urinate, defecate from, with a bowl underneath. It's just, and they're handcuffed to the bed as well. It's not like you can just lie in a nice bit. No, they're handcuffed to the bed, right? So you think the condition. So yeah, this will always be with them, but they're telling their stories, and the emotion is just palpable. It's oh man, it just makes you just like you're feeling it. You know what I mean? That's the power of this. You are feeling everything they are saying. And it gets tough, people. I ain't gonna lie, it gets fucking tough. But it's just so interesting, right? And Daxon makes this point because he draws superheroes, right? He draws fantasy. But he was just like, you know, because going in, he kind of resented all of this, right? Because he's like, look, by hijacking the TV, you're going to put so much pressure on everyone. You're going to make the situation worse. So there's a part of him that just wasn't down with any of this, right? So he looked at it in a certain light, but after talking to everyone and learning a lot of the stuff that went down, he's just like, yo, these are superheroes, right? These are people that stood up for their beliefs. And that's the thing, people, right? It's when you think, because right now, right, you have people on social media going, I'm an activist. I'm going to post this. There's no danger to them. You know, there's no danger to these people, but they want to try and, grandstand like they're, doing this amazing thing. But all they're doing is doing a post. That's it. Nothing else. They'll do nothing else, but they'll claim that they're just really just these important people. But you look through history, like Malcolm, Martin, Tubman, right? The suffragettes. Like there's so many that you can highlight and go, yo, that's a fucking G, right? That's someone that doesn't just in silent, in the quiet shadows, go, yeah, I think this is wrong, but when it all, comes down, they just, turn it back and pretend they didn't see anything or know anything. No, they put themselves on the line, knowing the potential consequences, right? Those people in Tiananmen Square, right? You look at what's happening in Iran right now, you know? Like there's girls that will say something on friggin' TikTok, I believe they're using the most. And it's just like getting arrested, put in jail, beaten up, killed. Right? So when you're putting that post out, what may happen to you. Right? And there's a level of fucking strength that not everyone has, right? And listen, that's no shade, right? Not everyone can do certain things, right? But it shows you the metal of some people. And so watching this and hearing this story, is something, man. It is something, because knowing everything that might happen, and a number of them have already been in jail, right? Had already, I'm going to say jail. I'm going to say labor camps, right? Labor camps. So it's not this easy, nice situation. No, 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 no. So they know what it's like, but they're like, nah, we gotta tell this message. And the message, like, I've not heard of Falun Gong, you know. It looks a bit like is it Fen Chi? Like Fen Chi? And I imagine, it's potentially a kind of a meditation, like yoga, Pilates, that kind of thing. It's insane that it's gone, like it's in 100 countries right now, right? But like the Chinese government was so, no, these people cannot do this, cannot do this. And when you see the pictures of everyone, it's like thousands of people in a square, right? All doing this practice, waking up early to do it. And it was like, yeah, there's loads of sites where people would meet up and do this thing, which is, it's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy. People go to churches and everything, but this is all outside. So it is, yeah. But this documentary, Eternal Springs, it is so well done. So well done. I'm, yeah, blown away by it. I really am, you know. And it's no surprise, right, that Canada has picked it, right, for their Oscar nomination. But here's the thing, not under documentaries, not under animation. They picked it as their choice for international feature. You know what I mean? International feature. So it's going to be going up against actual films, right? A documentary going up against a film, but this this is real life. This is a story that carries so much. So yeah, I mean that's a righteous move right there. Now, yeah, I think it's out on VOD right now. It's just dropped, and you'll definitely want to see it, man. You know what I mean? It's, as I said, look, it's tough, right? But it's definitely worthwhile, because it is so interesting. It's so, and it puts a lot of things into perspective, people. It really friggin' does, you know? Um, like you may think to yourself, oh, life is tough, you know what I mean? Like things are too difficult. But when you see, what might be happening to other people, whew, it's yeah, it's kind of crazy. So on their website, they've got where it will be showing, you know. Um, so definitely, try and hit one of those screenings. Um, you know, it is all over the place, which is great, and I'm sure it's gonna go even further. So yeah, just keep an eye out, follow these people's on social media and all of that. And yeah, if you get the opportunity, you will not be disappointed by Eternal Spring. I Yeah, really thankful I was able to watch it. Trust me, people. All right. So go check it out. Learn a little something.